game in Spain falls mainly on the plane, Tim discovers what it's really like to shoot at Montería. Gearing's Gear Guide robs back with some mountain survival tips, and I'm out ferreting in the fog. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. For those of you that think you may know about a Montería, don't judge until you've watched this. And if you don't know what a Montería is, you need to watch this anyway. In a nutshell, it's a traditional Spanish-driven hunt. We wanted to find out more, so Tim Pilbeam asked advice from fellow sporting journalists, and they said you need to talk to Fernando and Rafael at Spanish Hunters. So he did. Now we find ourselves 100 clicks northwest of Malaga in a very nice hotel with a group of Scandinavians.
Welcome to Spain. Slightly apprehensive. Some of the shots out here are out to 300 metres, which for the people in the UK is quite alien to us. So imagine you've got a running animal flying past you at quite a high speed, out to 300 metres. That takes a lot of skill, something I can't do at the moment anymore. I hope to do perhaps later on, but I'm not overly comfortable about doing that. We've got a Sauer 404 in 3006, so quite a powerful, strong calibre. The Zeiss V8 scope, 1.8 to 14, so a very, very good scope for driven bore as well.
Monterías attract a mixed press. Even though they abide by a strict management plan, it's all done in a day. Lots and lots of animals will be shot, which, let's face it, is what lots and lots of hunters want. But then, that's it for a whole year. The ground will not be hunted on again for 12 months. Plus, it's the law.
In the Spanish hunting regulation, it is like that. There is a law that says that you can only hunt once a year and a minimum area of 500 hectares. Even if you are the owner, you cannot hunt when you want. You must ask always to the government for a permit. And for example, today we have hunted in the Corchadillo area. Then we cannot repeat the same area till next season. That's our way to control the animals.
The day starts with a briefing and a really cool graphic of the shooting area and your peg. It also shows where your neighbours will be. Tim gets number 20. The guns are limited to 2 trophies over 2 days of shooting. That could be a red stag, a fallow buck or a mouflon. There's no limit on boar and non-trophy mouflon. There's a limit on red hinds, but fallow youngsters and females are all on the menu. As we wait to be allocated a vehicle, Tim chats with a few of the other guns.
I heard that they do take shots out to 300 metres. Is that a thing you're comfortable with?
Standing still, I do that.
Oh right, yeah.
I've done it in Scotland just 4 weeks ago. So, but not on a running animal. That's 150 is my limit. Yeah.
Tim has been on driven hunts before, but there are some interesting differences between the Spanish way and, let's say, Germany or Poland. For starters, it's 24 degrees, t-shirt weather. You don't pay extra for shooting trophies, and there's a very good chance you will see lots of game. To give you an idea of scale, 250 dogs will be used today to drive the animals over 4 hours. Then tomorrow, 250 fresh dogs will be used on a different estate. That takes a lot of organisation.
It's really important for me, for my staff, to manage the dogs. Because for me, this is the most important thing in the Montería, in order to guarantee the success.
How do you plan it? How do you manage the day?
But you have to look at all the area and try in the morning, try to identify where the wind is coming. I mean, the wind is really, really important. There is line of hunters that if there is a bad wind, animals don't want to go there. Then we try to put the dogs in 2, 3, 4 different places and try to push in different times in order to guarantee that all the lines of hunters receive a minimum number of animals.
The other difference is your personal hunting assistant or secretariat. They join you on the stand, helping you to make those quick decisions on whether to shoot or not to shoot, and most importantly, to spot and track injured beasts.
When the heat's on and when the blood's up, it doesn't always kind of translate. So it's actually quite, you've got to really think very, very carefully. If in doubt, don't shoot, basically. That's what it's all about, really.
We see game, but not early enough to get a shot. A fallow buck bounces away. Tim's first proper opportunity is a young fallow driven towards us. There's our 404 in 30.06 stops it in its tracks.
It's full on. I mean, it really is full on. It's just my heart's still pumping away. The dogs are actually gone that way by the sounds of it, which means probably the animals start coming back towards us. So exciting. I cannot emphasise how much. Yeah, it's a hell of a challenge this is. The terrain itself is quite unusual as well. A lot of scrubby area, a lot of trees. So every time you see an animal, you keep on losing it. You just got to follow through, and just hopefully your shot will be good. Absolutely brilliant fun. It really is.
His second is another fallow running left to right. It's a clean driven shot and is good for the confidence. The scavengers circle overhead, hundreds of them.
We've had a bit of a lull, which is quite good really, because trying to concentrate for hours on end is not at all easy. And from that last bit of film there, a fallow doe came running across there, and you can see now that the actual dog handlers are coming through there. And the one before actually was just behind those trees, so I'm just a wee bit careful. So anything over there I can't shoot. I've got dogs everywhere at the moment, and every time that an animal moves, I'm just on it straight away. So that's why I'm a bit scatty, but you know, the Germans do it, the Spanish do it. There's obviously a very good reason why they do it this way. So weather's fantastic, quite windy, so it's we can't hear the animals moving very easily. But so far, just a really good day's driven hunt.
In all, we have seen more than 20 animals, but most have been too fast or unsafe shots.
Just take a look at these hounds. They've been out all day long. There's 230 of them. They're absolutely knackered. I'm tired just standing up for about 6 hours in anticipation for a beast to run past me, but look at them. Absolutely knackered. What a most amazing sight.
Back at the hotel, they display the 150 animals the group shot today. Krista is from Sweden and works in the shooting industry. He's had a very good day.
First time for me, Montería in Spain. It was a shot about 150 meters away, so yeah.
So was it running? Was it running away from towards you?
Yeah,
or?
running away.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So it's full speed running.
Yeah. And you're comfortable
Yeah. We practice a lot with on running target, you can say.
Okay.
Even though this has been intensive management with a lot of animals on the ground, all this meat will end up on plates. Not here in Spain, but in Germany.
I've never probably seen so many dead animals in any one place, and it may look a bit morbid, but all this meat will be processed and it will be recycled and gone into the public domain, on the kitchen table, which is probably what it's all about.
To find out more about a Montería with an outfitter that really does deliver some fantastic sport, have a chat with Fernando at SpanishHunters.com. Next time, the hunters are going into the mountains and Tim starts getting into their driven game groove. Thank you, Tim, and by all accounts it was an exceptionally well organised trip, wasn't it, Mr. David Rioja Wright? And here he is, suitably recovered and on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. A British gamekeeper has won the right to control buzzards. Northumberland-based Ricky McMahon, who was self-employed, lost his livelihood early this year as a result of buzzard attacks on his young game birds. However, his solicitor helped him win a landmark legal battle after a judicial review at the High Court in London. It quashed the decision of Natural England, the government's conservation advisor, to refuse to issue him a licence to control a small number of the buzzards. The National Gamekeepers Organisation supported the court battle. The Scottish Gamekeepers Association has released this video about its moorland strategy. With the Scottish Government and several major conservation bodies committed to reforesting Scotland, SGA scientist James Fenton makes the case for keeping Scottish heather moorland because it's a unique habitat. A writer for the usually anti-hunting Guardian newspaper has made a case for hunting. Casper Walsh recently gave his TED Talk, promoted by The Guardian, called How Hunting Can Save the World. A TED Talk is a non-profit lecture of 18 minutes or less. In this one, he discusses how hunting can teach prisoners to address their crimes and the effect they have on the lives of others. Staying with the press, and a number of newspapers and websites picked up on our story about the appalling way Antis treated the death of a huntmaster. The Sunday Times, The Telegraph and Huffington Post all published articles further publicising the ways Antis marked the death of Gemma McCormick, who suffered head injuries after attempting to jump a fence in Cambridgeshire. The first woman to shoot a medal-class buck in Kent has just been confirmed. Lisa Taylor's roebuck weighed in at 534 grams, and with a CIC score of 116.95, she was awarded a silver medal. Congratulations to her, and if there are any other female shooters out there who've recorded a similar achievement, please let us know. Top Australian shooter Dave Waters has been sacked by tyre company Goodyear for being a shooter. In this film, Australia Senator David Leyonhjelm outs Goodyear to the federal parliament. Waters was helping a local shooter fit an accessory onto her target rifle. He met her during his lunch break at Goodyear. Before he could stop her, she took her rifle out of the car. However, 16 police officers raced to the scene. Although he was released without charge, Goodyear fired him. The senator has called for a boycott of Goodyear and Dunlop. Brodie Swisher of bowhunter.com was in his hide when he didn't spot a deer, but a bloke about to rob his house. The American bow hunter had been filming a doe on his property and turned his camera to the man wearing a dark-coloured sweatshirt walking across his ground. He knew he wasn't just any trespasser because it was t-shirt weather. Yet this dude had a black hoodie on. It turns out he has 3 convictions for burglary and is now facing further jail time. And finally, baling twine is incredibly useful but can kill deer. But not this one. Idaho Conservation Officer John McLean set about freeing an animal he found that was wrapped up in the twine. Afterwards, he called it not my safest decision, but it worked out. You are up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. Now, when the guys were off in Kyrgyzstan, as seen in recent episodes, experienced mountaineer and inventor of the Javelin magnetic bipod, Rob Gearing, imparted some useful information about keeping warm and dry in the mountains. Here he is on firelighting. Just remember always to wash your hands.
Right, I'm not big on matches. I've had terrible disasters with matches, and I'm sure lots of you out there have too. I'm not good enough at keeping things dry. So I always bring a fire lighter. This is a bit overkill, this one, but it's bomb-proof. You know, it's got a bit of magnesium in there. So if it's to get a stove going, light your fags, whatever you want to do, something like that is absolutely, well, it's imperative I take that. I'd be gutted if I didn't bring that along. The thing you obviously need is something to actually start a fire with. It's very difficult in these environments because obviously there's no trees. Sometimes you can use grasses, you can use dung and all sorts of things. But we often forget the basics. For example, we all contain a bit of fluff here and there. I actually tend to have a little bit in my belly button from time to time, which has worked in the past. But bum fluff can be very handy. Yeah, look, there's a lovely bit of Harkeela bum fluff that will be perfect for lighting my fire. Thank you, Harkeela. You think of everything.
Thank you, Rob. Now from one ball of fluff to another. I'm at Ferreting. you can have a thumping good time out ferreting.
Look at he there with his shirt and tie on, look.
We are on a 100-yard stretch of hedge on a Somerset farm. Chris Potter runs Somerset Rabbit Control and he's out doing the work today.
Today we're obviously rabbiting. Basically, I'm rabbiting for a big wheat farm. Basically, they've got problems with rabbits and consequently I get phoned up to try and sort them out each year. For the last 2 or 3 years, this hedge hasn't been cut at all. It was very thick and the farmers had this actual hedge cut just basically because it needed doing. There was a lot of problems with rabbits and he just wanted the rabbits caught. So make the job a lot easier, he's cut the hedge and sort of give me a ring and say come along, like, you know. They will cause a lot of damage. I mean, as you can see out in the fields there, you can actually see from the hedge how much damage they've actually caused. Let's have a spade. Basically what's happened is I've gone to dig in there where the actual rabbit was, and by actually doing that I disturbed the rabbit, so the rabbit then in turn turned around with a ferret and it come out on its own, which is really lucky really. So yeah, got over my hand, honest.
It wouldn't be ferreting without a bit of spade work, but in this berry the ferrets are not laying up to munch their way through a nest of kits. Chris may have brought in the heavy brigade with his human help today, but he's working a light team of ferrets.
Today I've actually got 4 gills with me today. Basically the berries aren't very big, so consequently we're going through with like 2 gills at a time. Basically what's happening is I'll use probably 2 gills for 2 or 3 hours, and then what I'll do is I'll change over and use another 2 gills.
So when is the best time to go ferreting?
Everyone works differently. I mean, I started sort of September time and I'll go through sort of till the end of February, because obviously it's warmer, the climate. The rabbits seem to be breeding a lot more. So sometimes what's happening now is like the other weekend we went out, unfortunately there's still a few baby ones around, but you just got to muck on and get on with it, because otherwise, like I say, we're not going to get much of a season otherwise.
Now we can't go through today without mentioning it. Chris works for the family butcher in Wellington, Somerset, and he has good reasons to feel proud right now.
Yeah, he won an award the other day for pork turkey and cranberry sausage. So
Is that a national award by any chance?
It was actually, yeah. I was very, very lucky. We went into a competition at Sedgemoor Market last year, which we actually was lucky enough to win, and then it brought us forward to go in the Champion of Champions, which is in Smithfield in London, and we were lucky enough to actually win it overall against 18 different sausages that won across the country.
You can buy those sausages at timpotterbutchers.co.uk. And if you want to find out more about Chris and his ferreting gang, look for Somerset Rabbit Control on Facebook. And if you want to find out more about ferreting, have a look at our ferreting playlist.
Well, that was a fruitful couple of hours. From the wilds of Somerset in the mist to the wider world of hunting and shooting on YouTube, it is Hunting YouTube.
This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the best hunting and shooting video that YouTube has to offer. Duck Commander Northern Ireland is having a happy day on Loch Ness, the largest lake by area in the British Isles, after diver ducks. It's set to music status quo. Viewer Ian Scotter is struck by his film of slow-motion duck shooting, which has been on YouTube for a year now and remains enormously popular. And in the USA, Hardcore Waterfowl TV follows Matt Dahlstrom, Blake Hagemeyer and Ryan Breach to the golden barley fields of eastern Alberta in pursuit of Canadian mallards. We are off to Vietnam, where the Green One channel is hunting stork and widgeon with falcons. It's this week's big hitting hunting film on YouTube. Max Hunt is in vision again. He's visiting the excellent Perazzi factory in Italy. Here's where they make those Olympic gold medal winning guns. Shas TV is back. In this video it shows a double at deer and wild boar. Good shooting. Dustin Mizzle from the USA has been off the radar for a long time, but he is back with 4 films in quick succession. This one is coyote hunting in Florida. Another long absence is broken by one of my favourite channels, Revax Films of
Spain. Here they are after duck and boar in the south of France. That's it for this week. If you have a YouTube film you would like us to pop into the weekly top 8, send it in via YouTube or email me the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv.
Well, we are back next week if you haven't done so already. Please subscribe. Please go to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, where you can click to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, or pop your email address into our constant contact form box, and we will constantly contact you about Fieldsports Britain. It's at 7 p.m. UK time every Wednesday, and this has been Fieldsports Britain. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.